Why? It's the middle of the day! You jibber jabber the chicken!
You know, it wouldn't be Torchlit Tavern if we didn't have a rooster in the background.
We didn't have some
I
random
would
cock.
have to be able to catch him.
Alright. Welcome back.
I'm
Once
in my
again,
jammies.
hello there, Tavern Goers.
Hi.
Welcome back to Torchlit Tavern,
Hi.
a real play tabletop RPG roleplay entertainment show. I'm working on our pitch here, and I think that's kind of where I'm dialing it in, because we're morphing a little bit to allow for more tabletops. Today on our tabletop, we're going to play the game of
roll a D%. Roll a D%.
I want to play the game
Roll
of
a D%.
evolution. I want to play the game of evolution. Evolve like
Roll
a
a D%.
Pokemon.
Come on, roll a D%.
72.
Okay.
It's a fucking perch.
Of course it is.
It should not be a perch as high as 72.
On brand.
51 to 79.
God
Fucking A.
damn.
Yeah, you gave him
That's
a lot of perch.
It's a 25% chance. It's a fucking common fish.
Evolution is a fun game. We should play that.
It is a great game.
I've never played it. Evolution is
Oh.
a great movie that doesn't get talked about enough.
Hell yeah.
Arguably
love
David
Omar Epps.
Duchovny's best movie.
Really?
Not arguably.
Arguably.
No. Name a better one.
Exactly.
Fucking Google David Duchovny movies. Stupid bullshit.
Anyway, I will be your game master today. My name is Jameson Oxford. I'm going to help you tell this tale of character-driven what's-it and roleplay as we go through a 5th edition D20 system. Playing with me today.
Nope.
Nose goes.
Nose goes.
He
That's-
doesn't like that terminology.
No.
He's never gonna.
It's bad.
Fine.
It's bad. It's bad for my ears.
Fine.
Hey, gays. Hey, gays. Hi, just the gays.
Hey,
Just
no.
the gays. I'm talking to the gays right now. Just the gays.
Hello, everyone. It is Ryan. I'm back again. I'm here to play point 2 because 9 stayed behind. This is just a point 2 podcast from here on.
All right, Ryan, we get your point.
2. And?
Oh no, he got my point, so that was it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not going to be
Well,
useful.
since you're the one who got the point, who are you?
I am a diversionary tactic. Who are you?
God.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Mitch, the podcast dad of the podcast.
I don't know if my microphone picks up the fact that I'm essentially always rubbing my head around here, but
And I play a guy who is playing a guy, but now he's playing a guy that he doesn't know he's playing because he's not playing the guy that he thought he was playing. Now he's
it's
playing
supposed
the
to get
guy that he was
simpler,
raised
not
to
more
play.
complicated.
Remember when you said the second one would go real smooth?
No, I don't.
Me either.
Reindeer says, "What's up?"
Me neither.
This is this whole thing with you is supposed to get simpler, not more complicated. One last person who's playing.
And Jeff is here.
Hey, it's Jeff. I am once again joining you as the Kruskin. That's a homebrew race. And I recently went through quite an ordeal. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing as much
You
sneak.
just went from a fish plate to a seafood combo, my guy.
Evolution,
Sure.
indeed.
Yeah, he's starting out with a full-on evolution. He's way ahead in this board game.
I see
and
what you did there.
I think that he might be better against rock type now.
Is this
Yes.
Is this Spore? Is there a Spore board game? There probably is.
It's evolution.
It's basic, yeah. I gotta show you evolution if you want a spore board game. That's basically what it is.
Spore game.
Once again,
Sport game.
Once again, we are Torchlit Tavern. We're about to get down and dirty and learn some shit. In the meantime, if you have been listening to us and you've forgotten, and I don't know how you could because we try to remind you all the time, go check out our Patreon or our coffee. Go buy us a coffee, I believe is the way
Ko-fi?
they put it.
Yeah,
Ko-fi?
I've got a coffee now.
Yeah, we got a coffee now. Go to that. We're at Torchlit Tavern on that site too. Just type
Go to
us in, you'll find us.
torchlittavern.com/links and look at all the buttons. I made
Yeah.
buttons. Lots
All
of
the
buttons.
links can be found on the website, just as Mitch said. Go check it out. That's all I have to say.
For those that aren't familiar with coffee, coffee is spelled KO-FI.com.
.com.
And that's all we have to say. Jeff, take it away.
Last time on Torchlit Tavern.
Ryan, ding me.
Blackpowder.
Blackpowder.
Black powder?
Black powder. Dig me. Dig me. Dig me. Dig me.
This game you have
Ding
for
me.
finding the most awkward place to put these. You're not supposed to weaponize Mitch's random fact.
Mitch's random fact.
Carcinization, which is the process of convergent evolution, where all life forms ultimately end up adapting the form of the crab, because it is superior in most instances.
Yeah, I'm carcinogening.
He is carcinogeting, yes.
Crabitualism.
It was last time at Torchlit Tavern. It was relevant.
That's fine. I will allow it.
Bang.
Hey, I've been trying to get hold of you.
Lost my phone. As you can see, it's quite crazy out there.
Yeah, no shit. What have you been up to? You're about to get out, ain't you?
My skin flashes.
You've just found me out. Explain to me how I possibly can let you live.
Threats aren't really becoming. We had a good working relationship. Every time one of you gets away, I'm rooting for you.
You knew it was possible.
Of course I know it was possible. Yeah, everybody, chop, go on. Say goodbyes.
I look at 9 and go,
Where I plan to go, I hope to find Eric. Maybe we can bring him back.
I look down at point 2.
You're gonna go see Eric?
Potentially.
Reyesk points the direction of the road and goes,
Road's this way.
But the woods.
Do you know where you're going in the woods?
Yes, this is where my family be born from. These are me woods.
You were born here. All I intended to do was to find this cult and maybe Eric.
Then on the sun and the morrow, we head be southin'. And Aderu just sort of skirts around the back of the town and just dips into an old, may or may not be abandoned barn.
You believe that the men at the factory deserve to die by the hands of that demon.
And so they did they not?
Why would they deserve such? I am here to help you, Aderu. But the corruption that I fight is the beast that came out of the ground. It is not your job to police nature.
It is my life. I am taught that when something need to be plucked from the garden, I pluck it with fire.
You're not a gardener.
No, I am not.
You're a druid. Would you like to become a full circle druid?
Is it permitted?
I am the forest spirit of Silveria. If I say it, then you are the only Silverian druid left.
in the middle of the night, something happens. During that night's, I'll explain. These small sort of protrusions that he started to feel on his shoulders burst forth to two large crab-like claws.
Aderu, it is also of note that the claws coming out of Reyesk's back look a lot like the claws on that monster you saw earlier today. So yeah, you guys woke up in a stranger's barn, and Reyesk's back has been split open and two scary claws are out, and you look like a monster, and you just got found by a young girl checking on the animals.
She's screaming?
Not yet.
I was just
She's kinda
feel like
shocked.
she is now.
She's at that lovely moment when you're not sure if you should scream yet, and she's wondering if screaming will set the whole thing off.
Yeah, I'm there down on my hands and knees, flashing colors. Just an insane amount of colors.
Gotta get scarier the more you describe it for her.
Yeah, of course. And I look up at her, jaws clapping, and just from the pain I'm in, and I realize that someone's there, but there isn't much I could do about it.
And then everything goes dark as
I
Aderu throws a blanket over you in a panic.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
As the blanket goes over me, I reach for my pack. You know, I didn't sleep. I slept on my pack as a pillow. That's what I always do. I reach for my pack to search through for the one bit of relief, but I have new arms, so I don't quite know which ones are reaching.
Oh God!
For the pack, I fumble.
This is real fucked up.
He tries to hold. He finally gets the drugs, holds them to his face, and his other claw just punches himself in the nose.
Yeah, and I just punch myself in the face with these claws. Luckily enough, the pack was open, and as much as I can, and just roll away.
When you threw the blanket, point two was wrapped up in it and just went fucking flying. She's off in the corner, still asleep, because I rolled a nat one.
Wow. You didn't even get to the point to,
Nope.
Yeah, no, I'm
Still
sad.
asleep.
I was a little let down.
Now
by
we just get the clatter of spoons in a drawer.
What?
It
She's
is all
staring
right,
at
child.
Aderu.
It is all right, child. He is having a bad night.
It's morning.
Aderu looks outside. Yeah. He be having a bad night, lass. Thank your father and your mother for the stay. We'll be going. And Aderu hands her a handful of coins, as is his custom here.
Roll me a persuasion.
He just puts them. I'm gonna roll a strength check because he puts them in her hand, closes his hands over her hands, and just pushes her out of the barn.
Okay, sure. Roll strength check.
Just backtracks her out of the barn. They just don't be here.
In the background, I'm just gonna do a little bit of.
That's an 11.
That was a what? 11?
11. Yeah.
I love that.
Dice didn't roll. It just went ka-chunk.
All right, I had to roll that just to be sure. But yeah, you put her out of the room, and she's still kind of shocked, and she kind of mutters some confused, frightened argument to you because you've not assuaged her in any way other than to hand her money and then push her out of the room. It's like, are the animals okay? Leave, please. Don't. And then the fucking stable door shuts, and you realize that it's a half stable door, and you can see over the top of it.
She's got 1 gold and 7 silver, and Aderu just does the flisks his hands at her. You should be going last. I'll be cleaning this up.
Pa! And she runs away.
I'm not worried about it. Pa's cool, and he probably doesn't have a shotgun.
Brave.
Of note, when I say as Aderu has done, that means that Aderu has in the past snuck into their barn and left them trinkets like a crow when he left in the morning. They probably have no idea what's been happening.
Yeah, they've obviously got a fairy problem.
Yeah, he was just leaving a gift on the post by the door, so this is not helpful to them.
Sure.
He's like, people let me stay here. They don't know that they do, but they do.
They've never
They do
stopped
all
me,
the
so they
time.
must have let me. Aderu, what do you do? Reyesk is kind of vaguely comatose. He's seems to have gone through a bit of an ordeal. Tell you what, roll me a d4, Jeff. That's the amount of time that we're gonna say you're a little bit incoherent.
3.
All right, for the next 3, you sit there for a minute trying to get Reyes' attention and nothing happens. It's gonna be 3 minutes before you can sort of get your faculties back underneath you.
Hey.
The pain will subside.
Reyesk.
What's going on?
Sif. Fish.
As it's like I said, he's got 3 minutes. You start to hear some yells coming from a nearby house.
Brother Reyesk. Remember what Eric taught us about our breathing. Slow breathing.
Bella, get my boar spear.
Vera's gonna do what any reasonable individual would do. And he's just gonna loop a rope. He's gonna flip Reyesk over onto the blanket, loop a rope under his arms across his chest, and drag him out the back door. We're just leaving. We're just leaving.
I get on.
Do you grab my pack?
Was it on you?
No. Please grab my pack.
Little one. Get the things.
High or low for favorable results.
Oh God.
Fucking low.
Low expectations.
0.2 gets your stuff.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Thank you, little one.
You dragging him, 0.2 dragging this giant sack. You don't make it you make it back out to that little rough trail that led you here, and this older gentleman comes running out in overalls with his big, mean-looking spear that he uses apparently to hunt boar. What are you doing out here? And he's in the morning.
I wrestle against the rope a little, but I'm not fully there. It's just kind of reaction. Also, I don't know how to control all of my limbs yet, so it's wild.
Goodbye.
There just stands up straight, yells out hello, and waves.
He brandishes his spear and he looks very upset. It's Aderu who looks just he is an uncanny valley of a person, right? Typically, that's kind of how we describe the future.
In peasant's clothing, yeah.
Yeah.
I look like a fucking body snatcher.
Dragging what looks like a
Dragging
body.
a body.
Body that has been half snatched, with a little robot. And he's just we don't...
I left your trinkets with the girl.
Bye. Thanks for letting us stay.
Trinkets? What?
I just keep dragging Reyesk faster. Drag fish faster.
We're done.
What were you doing in my barn? Are my animals all right? He's yelling at you. You get away. If you just run off, he doesn't.
Yeah, we're just leaving. I don't know if his animals are okay. I'm leaving. I'm leaving before that becomes a problem. I don't know what Reyes did. I am not waiting to find out he fucked the pooch and be there.
Sure.
I'm hoping it's okay.
What was happening over there?
I don't know. Nine's whispering.
So
into
we're
his
gone.
hands.
We're so gone already. We've been gone for a long time already. We're gone.
You guys get away, and finally Reyes comes. You're back to control. There's still pain in your shoulders, but it's like it's actually a bit of a relief. Like at the sharp pain that kind of split your brain from just the sheer surprise of it all, from having your back ripped open, it fades to a dull ache, and the dull ache that you felt in your back is relief.
Breathe, Brother Red.
Why is there a rope tied around me? Where
You
are
weren't,
we?
we had to get out of there. And you weren't cooperating.
You were making a bit of a scene there, friend, and didn't quite seem about your feet.
Making a scene. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, those are new.
May I never escape the apotheosis in one way, shape, or form.
Is this not normal?
No,
I kind of say, I thought this was just what your people did. I don't know. I don't right know what you are.
What happened to you?
help me up. Aderu.
Sorry, friend. There's still been... Aderu was just dragging you while talking to you. Sorry, friend. Here, let me aid you.
I get to my feet and I try not to hit anybody as I'm not completely consciously moving the extra arms I have.
Sorry. Fuck my shirt.
I look at the tatters that was the shirt I was wearing, rip it off my chest.
Are those arms?
Seems like it.
They don't look like fingers.
No, they look like claws.
Big, meaty claws.
Much like the ones I saw just yesterday. Fuck. Shouldn't have freed that thing.
Aderu just pulls out his sword. Is he being a demon? Just straight up asks the magic reindeer.
I don't know. I can't be for certain.
Reyesk puts his hands up.
I'm not. I don't mean to. I'm not going to attack you.
My friend,
Are you still you?
I ain't being worried about it. I'm being trying to make sure you're you. You been the you been, I ain't worried about it, eh?
Are you okay?
I put my hands down and I hang my head.
Which one?
Then I put my head in my hands.
Which ones?
Fuck. Well, I've only got one set of hands, but I'm sure the other arms also
They're
come
involved.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, so for the record, I think that Reyesk was the only one who took any damage during your last adventure, and I'm going to go ahead and say it's safe to say that you did not heal from that.
Oh.
I definitely didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say that your long rest's kind of fucked up, and those rules that we would have applied, you may apply them, but basically you still have damage, and I'm not going to say there's new damage, because this is just a level up ability behind the screen. It's not like it hurt you, but we're going to go ahead and say that you're still hurt from the previous day.
It's going to be a 14 on medicine check.
Okay, I love that. That's actionable. So...
And
right.
the question is this Reyesk, or is there a demon climbing out of his back? Because I've seen some weird shit crawling out of people lately, and we're not certain.
That is true.
Before we get into that, I do want to quickly do this since you're addressing the whole shitty rest thing. You should explain above board what that means I could do for both the viewer, and I'm not even going to lie to you, for me, because it's been a long time.
Sure. Let me pull it up. All right. So, so coming up on it, as I said, we're going to start using this rule. This was your first night of rest. So yeah, in this little homebrew setting, we've set up the idea that there is such thing as a poor rest or a poor long rest, where you're not resting in a place where you can fully relax yourself. You have to keep a watch, or you can't get a good night's sleep due to paranoia, things of that nature. While traveling on the road, it's like camping on the road. If you don't find a bed or an inn or pay good money, then getting a long rest gets harder to do. And since you guys slept in a barn, this is going to be considered a poor rest. The rest just simply isn't good enough. So instead of you getting the full benefits of a long rest, you do get all of your dice pool back, but rather than immediately getting to your like health back and your spell slots, you then have to spend some of that dice pool back to figure out what you want to gain back from your rest. So if you want health, you can roll a dice to gain some health back as if you had taken a short rest. You can also spend 1 dice per slot of a spell. So if you're level 5, you have 5 dice based for the short rest rules in D&D 5e. So you can get either 5 dice rolls back to your health, or if you had pools or spell slots used up, you could sacrifice dice to get some of those back as well. So, are you down anything other than health at this point with Reyesk? I think a rogue doesn't exactly
No,
have
I think
pools.
I'm only down health.
Okay, then it's pretty simple for you, but that means that even though you've gotten the effects of a long rest, you're still going to be down a few dice at the start of this day, as if you've already taken short rests. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the war of attrition that you will suffer from poor rests. But it also allows me to stretch out an adventuring day the way 5th edition D&D is built, so that an adventuring day doesn't end in a single night of travel. Like, rather than forcing you guys to fight like 8 things to make it feel challenging, you just go on an 8-day journey. And if you bump into something every day, then it'll still feel grueling.
Yes, of course. Alright, 3.
That's too bad.
Plus
My
3.
guess was this is the best rest we were going to get.
So,
well,
I was barely damaged. So.
Like I said, there's, short of finding like a place that you can lock shut so that your character can essentially go to sleep without worry, you're always getting a poor rest. The idea is that it's stressed.
Copy that. Well,
So-
I got my little rest.
So you did that, and he rolled a medicine check.
Yeah, I spent my die. He rolled a medicine check, yes.
Yes. What did you roll
What
for
did
that
you
medicine
find
check
out?
again, Mitch?
14.
14?
Nat 20. Nat 20. It was a nat 20. I said it. You forgot it. It was a nat 20.
The old ways. So, one of the things that you notice right away is that even though they've burst from the skin, you are immediately relieved to see that they seem to be attached. They look as if they are a part of his physiology now. There is a bit of torn skin, but as you probe at it a little bit with your medicine check, you see that the musculature is attached to his back. These are an extra limb built into his body. Also, you notice that the skin color, it's not the same tone or texture as the other things that Reyesk has, though. So even though it looks like it's built into his body, it doesn't look like it's the same body parts that he has. Not the same skin. It's like somebody slapped a different creature's arms onto this fish. They are much more crab-like, whereas he has demonstrated that he's more akin to a shark-octopus hybrid. And even though it is in keeping with the aquatic theme, they don't really match. They are a dark gray color, though. So they do match him when he's kind of
But they're not changing colors. Like when he
No,
was strobing out,
he's
they weren't
freaking out.
changing.
They did not change colors, no.
Yeah, he's still lightly flashing colors.
Yeah, I imagine every time you prod at the skin, too.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is, my friend, they're yours.
Good news.
That's the good news.
Could have been worse, I suppose. Could have been something climbing out to you. Not gonna lie, it was my first fear.
Yeah, you see on the skin, orange zigzag pattern, and I look over my shoulder.
That's what I was worried about.
I'd be guessing this isn't normal for you, then.
No, it's the apotheosis.
I didn't see anyone.
No, little one.
And I take a couple steps forward and I turn. And now that my shirt's off, I take some deep breaths and try to calm myself. And as I calm myself, my skin turns into this sort of dull gray that this sort of docile state makes it. And in doing that, you can start to see manifest all over my now bare chest these scars on my chest and my arms. Though they don't look like vicious scars like I was in some sort of battle. They are surgical. And I try to use just one set of arms, but we'll see. But it's not incredibly consistent.
It's like it's like learning to walk again.
I poke your claw.
I think I feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, you feel it. It doesn't have great sensory, like at the claw part, but
You look back and Aderu just has your claw in his hand and he's doing like the mouth open close thing with your claw.
That feels weird.
No one you know has ever had this happen?
It's not like this. Others have had similar things, but I didn't think that they delayed like this.
Octung had 4 arms, right? Hold on. I have to go above board. Octung had 4 arms, right?
Octung did have 4 arms. They weren't claws, but yeah, Octung had 4 arms, which was definitely strange.
So, is it possible for this to happen more?
I don't know. Listen, when I was young, the apotheosis abducted me. They took me from my family.
Someone nice?
And no, they were not nice.
Oh,
They ran experiments. They altered me. You will find that if you ever see another Cresting, they don't look exactly like I do.
only 2 arms?
Aside from the fact that they have only 2 arms, they don't all share this shape.
As I run my hand over my head,
And their gills work.
as I point to the protrusions that have looked like ears but were gills.
If you need, I can make fire and we can have them removed.
The arms.
Well, yeah, if they're not supposed to be there.
If we burn the wound, it should stop the bleeding if it's a problem. I don't know. I can't say that I know what to do from here, my friend.
Pottery.
I can't say I know what to do from here either.
Do you want
But-
to keep them?
I don't think I could survive field surgery of that caliber. For now, it's safer to keep them than to risk.
Let me cut off a couple of Aderu's arms and see how he lives through it.
You can
I don't have extras.
You can control them, though, right?
I'm trained in medicine, so I'm just kind of taking some liberties that I.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, it's a solid choice that you made to not take field surgery to
So is it
to
there. You
amputate
just
your
cut the
limbs.
arms off and cauterize them. It's probably fine.
Except for the high risk of infection.
I mean, that's the level of first aid
And
that he
blood
has,
loss.
though.
Yes.
There's a lot of issues.
A lot of problems with this
Yeah.
plan. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems.
Yes.
The bone, or lack of bone.
Yeah, exoskeleton on this one.
Point 2 raises her hatchet.
I look at point 2
Point
with,
Kevorkian.
with like a worried look on my face.
Are we not? No?
No,
Okay.
for now, I will keep them till I can learn more. They, as Aderu noticed, do appear to be part of me.
I slap your claw.
Less than before, so about the same as normal.
Okay. I think.
Or there he
And-
slaps one of your claws.
Like taps it or like slaps
Like
it
an
away.
overhead slap. Just like,
Like a high five.
yeah, like a high five, but on a claw.
High claw.
A high claw.
Yeah, you high claw the claw. I'm like, I like flinch a little.
It's like surprisingly solid. It's a solid clap.
I think so. The claws. This is a side note. These are big claws. They're longer than my arms.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. So like they're rather large, and so like
Are you gonna eat
I
things
think-
like a clawed being now? Just like
fuck maybe.
Spiderfish.
Hilarious that
Spiderfish.
hilarious that you bring that up because at that point I
He
look
just tried to do his drugs that way.
I
It didn't
I
work.
look over at my pack which you've been dragging, and I reach for my pony keg, but it's further away than my regular arms can reach, and so I grab it with the claw. On instinct, not on purpose. Just like I want that badly. So the claw grabs it, and I go,
It does appear to work, at least.
and I try to take it from myself. Still weirded out by this whole thing.
You try to focus on gripping, and it won't let go because you're gripping the.
Yeah, I'm trying to grab it with my hands, but I'm thinking about grabbing, and it's grabbing
Yes.
still.
And then you think about letting go and you drop it because you thought about letting go. And
then
it's just
it
it's the whole
stabs the
thing.
pony keg a little too hard, and you realize that the claw is incredibly strong and can puncture a wooden keg.
Well, at least it could be useful.
I ask somebody to I put it down, and I go,
Can someone get me some of this grog in here? I can't manage.
as I've just been like, you've watched for the last like 5 minutes me fiddling with trying to grab it and hold it and like I punctured it a little, so
Um,
just put it on the ground.
Aderu, your medicine check told you that he was also already high, and he's asking for booze.
I assume he knows what he's doing. I'm
Okay.
probably wrong.
I pour a glass.
So one of the things that I bought was bottles when I was in town. So I just try to capture as much of the booze in the 4 bottles that I have.
Sure. Does anybody give booze to Reyesk?
Of course
Yeah.
I do. He
Okay.
thinks he needs it.
Uh,
I'm not
Re-
going to judge him
Re-
yet.
Reyesk, level 5, and the kid gloves are off. Can you roll a Constitution save? Because Darvin warned you not to mix this shit
Yeah,
a
He
long
did.
time ago.
he sure did. Ooh, but you know what? I'm a pro.
It's because your BMI just went up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 19 plus 3, 22.
Okay. You watch Reyesk, he takes a drink, and then his eyes roll in the back of his head for a second. Looks like he rocks back on his heels, and then he steadies himself again. And it takes him a second, and it's almost like he didn't realize that he lost a moment there.
Maybe you shouldn't, friend. There just takes the empty bottle back.
Okay, 1 is enough, I guess.
I'd wager to say 1 was more than enough way you were wobbling there. Looked like a babe trying to stand the first time in muddy water.
I was wobbling. I'm fine.
And I do okay, but
I push him.
I'm,
There pushes him. Just gives him a shove. 2 hands in the chest. Just...
I have 4 arms to catch myself with now, so I'm not worried about it.
Trying to knock him over, roll saves.
Sure, deck save. Fuck. Oh shit! It's a bad deck save, but that's still a 10.
Alright, I'm gonna take a 9.
What do you at?
6.
Oh, well, you've won that exchange. I fall on my butt. I fall and then go,
What the?
Like I said, you're wobbling around like a babe. Perhaps you'll be taking too much, my friend. Maybe onesie or the other, eh?
I scramble up and go,
It's the arms. They're throwing me off.
Sun was in my eyes.
Anything but the addiction. No, I get it.
you
I don't
got
have a
it.
problem. I just have 2 extra crab arms.
The hatchet comes back up.
I think I just use my regular arms to pick up my stuff. Realize I can't sling my backpack over my back anymore, or at least not as I know it to have had happened prior. And
Well,
just
Aderu-
hold it and walk down the
Aderu sees
road.
your pitiful ass trying to hold your... Like doing the schoolgirl backpack walk down the road. And he shows you the trick that Mitch knows, where with a piece of rope, you can turn a backpack into a fanny pack. You now have 50 feet of rope, and you can wear your backpack properly.
Sick.
Sure.
And we
So
continue
I do
onward,
that.
'cause we got shit to do.
Sure.
And I also grab my cloak that I also can't wear properly. I figured that out, I think, but it still looks funny.
It's like a tent walking down the road.
So, you guys travel for the rest of the day. Give me a d12 roll.
I can do that.
Oh, I can do it worse.
It's your turn.
It's a race. It's a race.
Time for another
There it is.
random encounter.
I can roll a better one. I can
One
roll
again.
a worse.
It can't be not. Reroll 1. I'm not doing 1 again.
8! I rolled an 8!
No, it's
10.
his turn.
He biffed it!
He botched his own turn.
Not my fault he rolled a double. You get lost. You return to the same town. Try again.
The guy standing there with a boar spear still. You got an 8.
I got
Oh.
a 10.
Oh, a 10.
I got
Yeah.
You got
Sorry.
it. Sorry. Can I get some perception checks from both of you?
You sure can.
checks I can give you. Passes I'm not sure I can give you.
You can get the check.
That's an 8.
And as I said, I'm trying to make my cat bear cloak work, so I'm going to take
I
my
got an
advantage
8.
anyway.
Yeah, 8
and
buddies.
That'll give me a 21.
21.
Yeah, with advantage.
So
It's
yeah.
going to be a 6.
Aderu has been focused on. You've been focused on finding.
Yeah.
Something. Reyes,
Navigating.
despite, or maybe because the pain that you used to feel in your shoulders is gone, you find that your senses are a little more acute tonight.
Yeah, I'm fucking turned
And
up.
you pick up as the day kind of gets on and night starts to come on. The light shines on a set of eyes somewhere behind you in the sparse woodland that you guys are traveling, and you realize that something is stalking you.
I don't realize shit. I'm up at the front arguing with point 2 about which way to go.
Yeah,
No, we
I'm
go this
geeked
way.
out.
We don't go
In the
that way. We
back.
go this way. You don't know where we be going.
How long have we been traveling?
This is the end of the second day of travel since you left Santos. This whole day went by before you realized this was happening because you didn't notice till the little light went down.
Yeah, till the light changed, yeah. I spent the whole day just trying to differentiate between moving one set of arms and the other set of arms.
L1, L2, R1, R2.
You know, it's a great exercise to try to get manual dexterity is to play with your Yoon phone.
Sure, yeah. I try to catch it as it moves around my head.
Doo-ba-doo! Hi. Welcome to Nine Phone. Here's a commercial for one of the many products you can find through the Nine Phone right now. Beep.
It's not about just destroying this village. It's not about ruining the lives of the people here either. You just gotta find that balance. Reclaiming this land for the primacy does more than just satisfy the lust for blood. That's the sweet spot. The all-new Santetian Warforged Model 75. Conquer them all.
For the primacy.
I see the eyes behind me, and I quickly stash my Yoon phone, and I go,
Aderu,
Hey.
something's watching us, tracking us. Eyes like yours in the dark.
Well, depending on how much like mine they are, that could be good or, well, bad or worse.
Yes, it could be any of those things.
Aderu is going to arm himself. Well, that'll be one way to find out, isn't it?
Yes.
So are you guys making
I
it
arm
clear
myself.
that you've seen it, basically? You've chatted,
Yeah.
and now you've armed yourselves? Okay.
Yeah. And Aderu is about to just walk over there.
Sure. Is that what you do? Because nothing happens right away.
Cautiously. But yeah, Aderu is just going to walk over there. If you're an ambush predator, no. Bad.
Sure.
I'm coming to you, I do not fear you, and I hope that you take my bluff.
As you get forward, you see, crouched low, and as you get close, you realize this is a shifter, one of your people. And as you get closer, you see two canine ears kind of pop up, and it pokes his head out and sniffs the air.
Then we'd be close, innit we?
Tell you what,
Tell him.
someone's home.
Many someone's homes.
Have I smelt you before?
I'm sure in passing, if not else.
You smell like
Lavender
salt.
bathwater.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you smell this.
Lavender bathwater and pig ass.
You smell like civilization pig farts.
Yeah, that probably sounds about right. Better than what I was smelling like before then.
So he sees that you see him, and you've spoken. He stands up out of this bush, and he's See, I'm going with a canid. I don't just want to say wolf or fox. I feel like that's lazy.
Jackal.
A jackal man. I want him to be a stealthy one. So yeah, I like that.
No, the fox wolf, the dumb lanky one. Fuck.
The maned wolf?
Yeah, the maned wolf, the dumb lanky one.
He
with the
stands
striped
up and
butt.
he's as tall as Reyesk is when he stands up, and tall as thin as Reyesk.
Guys
probably
are
is.
great. They're dumb as shit.
Also horrifying what you've just described. A main wolf shifted. All right, more horror today.
It is
We're a
pretty
horror
horrifying.
podcast.
The
now.
eyes glint, and he stands up to his full height, which is much taller than Aderu. And
It's Slender Wolf.
yeah, you're looking directly at him. You now are going to go insane and die.
I'd be looking for Caleth and the others. You seen the sort?
Roll a d20 for one. I'm gonna see if you know this guy.
It's an 11.
You know him.
It's a
You
lot
don't
of-
know him
a lot of
well.
Mid rolls.
Yeah, you don't know him well. You've met this guy, once maybe. We're going to name him Maynard.
Maynard.
Yes, the main wolf.
That is good.
You're welcome. It's that reaction right there that I live for, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, Maynard stands up. You have met him, and it takes you a moment to recall his name, because Maynard is just a forgetful guy normally. Normally he doesn't stand up to full height and fucking vulture pose people in the dark.
He stands up, and normally you shudder and repress that.
Yeah, you do your best not to remember him.
Look, Aderu,
Hey?
I've been told you're not welcome.
By who?
By everyone.
By everyone. Even the bloke with the little scritchy claws and our better friend.
You need to stop pretending like you don't know what's happened.
I've been knowing what happened. Well, I've been knowing parts of what happened. I've been knowing I've been saving 3 of our shifties' lives.
From what?
From a force they weren't prepared for.
What brings you here, Aderu?
I told you I'd be looking for Calith. I also be looking for information. I hear there's queer things going on down that way.
What queer thing?
People keep blagging around some bloath about 2 of the circle being dead. And I'll have none of that nonsense.
Yes, they went missing southeast. We haven't found them yet. You know. Wait.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion with advantage. Because your lack of knowledge on this subject is throwing this dude for a loop.
That's 12.
Fuck, the good news is you always get to roll against me, Mitch. So you rolled a 3.
I'll take what I can get.
You don't know where they are.
No, I only be meeting with... I was attacked by Suko. They said the others was dead. Blamed me for it, but I wasn't even there. I ain't seen him in a season.
That may be true. Who are your friends who reek of primacy?
This is an asset of mine. His name is Reyesk. He is an animal, a type of water beast they've been done wrong. I'm showing him the way out and using him to turn against them. The little one is a strange curiosity. It's a piece.
Abomination.
It be a piece of one of them, yes. But it helps us.
Aderu, I don't know.
I cannot say I understand it.
I don't know what you've gotten yourself into, but this doesn't look good. You should go back. You should go and leave.
I need to be knowing what I'm being accused of. I need to be knowing where things are. I need to be having information to look into it.
We don't know where they died. They just disappeared. They never came back.
If they just disappeared, then how do you know they'd be dead?
The druids told us. They sent us looking for the bodies, though. We never found them. Something to the south is wrong, off. I get confused. I get lost.
Why?
I don't know.
Are you normally daft? It bears asking. You tell me that you be getting lost in the woods and you get mad at me for asking a question like that. You open with the silliness, I question it. Do you know where Caliph be or not?
No. Caliph is a druid now.
So I hear.
I have not seen her since she is enlightened.
Is anyone else?
Anyone else what?
Enlightened?
No, just her so far. Though there's been talk of others.
Why? They be telling us our whole lives that we ain't being able. But now I hearing from them and I hearing from this, and he just sort of pulls the sword forward. Be saying that we can be.
He immediately sees that weapon and he kind of ducks a little lower.
You found it!
Yes, I've been having it. That's one of the reasons I need to find them. I need to report back.
You want to go find the druids, you know where to find it.
But they be saying I killed the other 2.
They're going to kill you.
That's why I've been needing to find what be happening.
We haven't been able to find them. If you can find proof that you didn't do it, then you should go find it at Aderu.
That's why I'm here to ask for. Direction, I know nothing. I know I sent a force that shouldn't have survived. And then now I be telling that they be dead by a bunch of squabbling humans with their little fire wands and a couple of large abominations. Nothing the likes of which a couple of the elders should have been able to handle. Especially those 2. Men marching halfway in their grave as was.
He just shrugs. He shrugs and it almost turns into a shiver, and he doesn't he doesn't have answers for you.
The others have all moved. They're getting ready for some big plan the druids have. The circle's going to move on Santos soon. They have a plan. They haven't told us what it is yet. And I can't tell you any further. I shouldn't talk to you anymore. You'll get me in trouble.
Have they told you when?
I think... No. There's something they needed.
In a week's time, things are going to be very difficult. If they are going to make a pass at Santos, they should do before or after then. In Aderu leaves.
Okay. Yeah, he just stands there and it's the end of a conversation. No goodbyes.
Well, let us continue then. It seems that our remaining errands all to the same area. You want to see the folks about the blue
Flame?
Yes, the blue flame, yes?
Yes.
That's from Boggy Bloke. You say they're down in the southways, and I need to be checking things southways also, so let us move along.
Do your people always treat you like that?
Yes and no.
They don't seem very nice.
It seems as though you're about as welcome with them as I am with the apotheosis.
I have been banded a traitor, yes. The same as if I were to be found to have having killed Vivaldi. Effectively is what I'm accused of. Using the apotheosis, your primacy levels. It's as the... What is it? Whatever is above an inquisitor. I'm being accused of killing 2 of them.
Above an inquisitor?
Aye.
Then I don't think you should try to see them, because if they react the same way the Primus would. You won't have time to state your case. They will kill you when they see you.
You remember my discussion with the little one, with the swarms?
Yes.
That is how it will go, I'm aware. But if I find out what happened, and can prove I was not part of it, then perhaps it's ending different. But it'll be a fight. Don't you worry yourself that.
As long as you know.
Aye. Let us go find your little campfire friends.
I nod.
9.
Hi.
What have you been up to for the last day? What'd you do in Santitas? How have you been spending your time?
Just building stuff.
Building stuff? What are you trying to build today, 9?
Today, I think I want to start focusing on something for our good friend Aderu.
Okay. We can start it up. I think we did say it's going to take a day for each bag, correct?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and start your next project at the end of today. As they wrap up the end of today's journey, you also will wrap up your project and decide your next one.
Yes,
what are you going to build now?
I have completed yet another bag, but now I would like to make something useful for Aderu.
Okay.
I noticed that he has a shield, but it seems kind of shitty. So I'd like to get him a better one.
Really? Okay. What kind of a shield did you have in mind? Did you have an item blueprint in mind?
An item blueprint, sure. We can say that I drew up something that looks a lot like a sentinel shield.
A sentinel shield. Let me act like I'm a DM who just knows what that means. Hold on. I'm using the secret DM brain that knows all things. It sounds a lot like typing into. Hey, look at that. Oh yeah, I totally remember. So that would be a uncommon magic item that gives you advantage on initiative rolls and wisdom checks.
Seems like something Aderu could use.
It sounds solid. Mitch loves both of those things.
Good.
In general. Go ahead, and as before, roll me. It's an uncommon once again. Just like last time, let's use our little chart. Uncommon is a d6 times 100 gold pieces. Let's see how much one of those would cost you to make under the circumstances you're in.
Dose.
Good roll. So that means it's going to be half of that, 100 gold pieces to make it. You can make this motherfucker in like half a day. Do you have the money?
Let's see. I have a lot of copper. Bronze. I don't know what it is.
Do you have
Copper?
100 gold pieces worth of copper?
Do I? I don't know. I have 500 silver and 3,300 copper.
So you have 30
You're not
gold.
tricking me into doing your math for you. I do enough math. I'm the dungeon master.
You have 500 silver, you said?
Yes.
Drop a 0 off of it.
I have 5 gold, 500 silver, and 3,300 copper.
So just drop a 0 off the silver, that's how many gold you have. Drop 2 zeros off the copper, that's how many gold you have.
You're about 25 gold short as far by my quick estimation.
So what do I roll on the jank table, Jay?
Sure. You're just going to bypass the whole gold requirement? I love it.
Appear that I need to.
Yeah, give him a janky item.
Jink.
Well,
This doesn't bode well
that
for Reyesk item later.
Yeah,
sure does.
I mean, the good news is you don't have to spend any money. What Nine did was she got hold of a beat up like trash can lid. She used what was on hand. She fixed it up. She put in the time.
I'm using the
Still have
big
to put in all the time.
bulbous chest of a Warforged, and I'm cutting it into a circle.
Perfect.
And I'm
Love
doing
it.
things to it.
Lovely. Roll a d10 as you power grind and saw and file away to make this shield. You've made the shield for real. It's a nice shield.
Cool.
Made out of junk.
That's a 3.
And we had to hotwire and jury rig all of the magic components into it. That's a 3.
Mm-hmm. It's a solid 3.
Fuck.
It's a
Okay.
pretty good 3.
Ooh, what do
Alright.
we get? What do we get?
His shield has capacitor problems.
As capacitor problems. What does that
When-
mean?
Whenever this item is used, roll a 1d4. On a 1, the item doesn't give enough juice and does only a reduced effect. I'll have to figure out what that means.
Okay.
On a 2 to 3, it works normally. And on a 4, the item produces too much energy, and any magic or energy damage that it would happen be multiplied by 1.5. The item causes 1d10 fire or thematically appropriate damage to the bearer.
Oh shit. Wow. Okay.
So there's a chance it doesn't work, and then there's another chance
That
It works
just
way
hurts
too
way
fucking
better.
So, because it's a Sentinel Shield, like you said, which does advantage on initiative and perception, if it works too good, he will go first. If it's initiative, if he's using it for initiative, he goes first. I don't care. But if that happens, he's also going to take a D10 of electricity damage as it shocks his ass.
Shocks him into work.
Feels like a lot.
Not really. You guys are level 5 and he's a barbarian. He'll be all right.
Fair enough.
All right, so you can start working on that, and you can finish that one up. Fuck, man, you think you might be able to knock that one out today? You're feeling pretty good about it as you start to get it working.
Trying to get it done before bed.
Perfect. Finn Boggy walks up to you as you're working on the shield. So who taught you all this?
The Maker taught me how to do. Well, the Maker taught me a lot of things, and then I just kind of figured the rest out on my own.
I didn't know you could do that.
Learn?
Yeah, learn. Not
It's
gonna
one of
lie.
my favorite things to do, if I'm being honest.
It terrifies me that you things can learn.
Well, I can learn. I don't know about the rest of us.
He nods to the one standing in the corner. My old mate who worked on that. We beat that one a long time ago, and he was trying to figure out what makes him go. But it didn't learn, and you're older than it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was more of an assistant for the Maker, Martha, as you know her.
So you were a special unit, then, you say?
I suppose.
So I don't need to worry about these other units learning new tricks. It's just a you thing.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I wasn't around for newer ones. I imagine the one that you have won't be learning anything, but newer ones maybe.
Yeah, I worry that she's gonna crack that code. She always had when I knew her, she always had a drive to figure out how to make a consciousness. And honestly, I didn't think she'd ever pull it off. You're frightening because it shows that she could. Does she know how smart you are?
I think? I don't know if she knows. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen her. I don't know if you're aware of a Mr. Underbrew?
Underbrew.
But I was with him for a while. After
Yeah, I think she
stopped being
sold some
useful
old
to her.
units. I know Underbrew. She sold some old units off to that guy.
Yeah.
But she never gave him... She never sold anything to Underbrew that she wasn't done with. And you seem different than all of her other... If she knew what you were capable of, I don't think she would have given you away.
Probably not. I hope not. But also, I just wanted to help. You had said that you had an associate that was working with you?
Yeah, I had a few of
figure
them.
out this Warforged?
Yeah, I had a few of them.
Oh.
His name was Jared. He had a knack for these things like you do. But they caught him. They hung him. Him and all the others.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It happens.
Was there anything that he left unfinished that maybe I could help with?
Looks like you already found them. He points at the schematics that you've been going through, the Unphones that you already did. He's like, if you could figure out how these Warforged work, that was his thing. He wanted to know what made them. We were trying to figure out how to fight them, though. I don't know what you'll be looking for.
I could try and do that too.
You do what you think. I never understood any of this.
Is there anything that you might like me to help out with? Since you're kind of keeping me here. You're keeping me safe here. Is there anything I can do in return?
Yeah, 1 second. He goes over and he pulls out this long rifle and he puts it on the table and he says, I need this to kill a wizard or a mage, dark magic. I need this to kill a warlock. I need this to, in one shot, go through something's defenses that typically can't be caught unaware. To put it simply, I need this to fuck your warlock.
Well, unfortunately, according to our DMJ, there is nothing in the game that allows that to do that thing. There has been many times where I wanted to, say, cut off a warlock's head from behind, and I was told that I was not allowed to do so no matter how high I rolled. So, I'm afraid it's not possible.
I don't know who this Jay is, but he sounds like a real fucking tot.
He's a real piece of shit.
What can you do with it?
I can possibly make you do critical hits on not just a 20. And maybe some elemental damage. And also, whatever the fuck I want when Jay isn't listening.
He gave you a story point. You can do whatever the fuck you want right in his face.
I can try. I mean, I don't know. I can definitely make it hit harder, but I don't know if I can, fuck your warlock. But we'll do our best.
Harder works. Harder's good.
Harder is good. Yes, point one. Yes, it is.
That one, the little ones freak me out.
He's a little more ruthless than point two.
I see that. I do like that about him. I need ruthless. I can use ruthless.
What do you need?
Harder.
Okay.
Reyesk, Aderu, you keep traveling south. It was getting late when you started, but you haven't seen a good camp area. Eventually, you start to get a little more south, where you start getting back into that area that was like marshland, and now that the rains have come back after you guys fixed them, it's starting to get marshy again. You feel the ground getting wet and soggy. And as Aderu has been leading the way because he knows this area very well, and you watch Aderu sort of seemingly without realizing it, you watch him, he gets to a certain point, and his whole body kind of just subtly turns to the left as he's walking down this little, like, deer trail. And he just, like, leaves the fucking deer trail.
Without a word?
Yeah.
Does this look... No, can I roll insight on this?
Sure.
Can
look
I roll
normal?
insight
Yes.
on this?
Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna say, as soon as he points it out...
Ooh, that's a good one. That's 19 plus 3. 22.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, he didn't look like he changed direction. He just sort of, like, looked like he got, like, had a moment of confusion and then pivoted and kept walking. But for some reason, that didn't seem to faze him.
Are you okay?
Aye. Why would I not be?
It looked like you had some trouble there for a second.
There he does the shifter equivalent of check for your wallet. I don't believe anything be wrong.
I have your wallet right here.
You little shit.
It fell out. I just picked it up.
I don't believe all of that for a moment.
Did you intend to take this deer path?
You have no idea what he's talking about. You've been on the same path the whole time.
I'm going to where we need to be going. What should be meaning?
Well, you see how this path is really small, and that path we were on is really big?
Stop and take a look around. Tell me where you think you are.
Go ahead and roll a, I guess you could do insight, I suppose, but I was gonna say like a wisdom save, maybe?
17.
As he points it out, and you look forward and you realize that this is not the deer path you were following, but for some reason, you look back and you see your own tracks, and see that you just veered off course for some reason. Like a full left turn. Like a 90-degree angle.
Do I feel like I'm going the wrong way?
Now that it's been pointed out and you kind of shake your head, yes. You no longer feel like you're going the same direction you were going.
Okay.
So, is this the path we need, or should we go back to the other one?
Well, I think that'd be dependent on what we want them to do here. Something be making me walk this way, so maybe something be that way. But that's not where we were trying to be going.
Well, neither of us is gifted in magics, so something that could affect you in such a way is beyond our understanding.
Let us continue on our way then. Because where do I think we're going, Jay?
I
was going that way, basically,
Yeah.
to go investigate or find the blue flame. It didn't really matter which one we do first.
Yeah, that was kind of basically, this is, you know the area enough that you know that if you head this way and then if you cut left, you will get to where you assume that other platoon disappears. So you were heading south and then left. You haven't quite got to the part where Aderu thinks that he would make his turn because he knows like a path through the hills there.
Yeah.
You haven't quite gotten there yet, but for whatever reason, when you tried to, you just jerk. You're basically like, "Rrr!"
So I could go left and still get...
You could go around.
Instead of going down and left, I could go left and down, and that should take me to the same place.
You could go around. You could take the same path, but it's not the path that you had in mind. It would be out of the way, honestly, like a poorer road. Like it would be like a more wild patch of wilderness to go through with you and your friends here.
Aderu just pulls out his sword and goes, "Hey, you be tricksin'?"
Who be Trixon?
Trixon how? What?
Something be compelling me turn this way, but I be needing to go south more. Something be pulling me eastward.
Not me. Where are we?
In the woods.
Great.
So it's important to note that he has basically said that he has like limited visual understanding of where he's at any point. He kind of listens and sort of observes in his way, but otherwise there's no he doesn't know where you are.
Does he have a name?
Yeah,
Magic Reindeer.
It's the Severian forest spirit. Yeah.
Okay. So no one's asked is what I'm getting from that.
It's like a pimp named Slipback. You gotta say the whole thing every time.
Say the whole thing. Exactly. So what do you guys do?
Well, I'm gonna go left and down instead of down and left.
Just gonna roll with it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. You don't fight it. You go around. You guys are gonna lose time. It's gonna take you longer to get where you think you're going.
Yeah, I follow.
Where do you guys sleep tonight?
He's the one who thinks he knows where he's going.
You're going to run out of time tonight, and you know you have at least another day, particularly another day's travel now, because you're going through more difficult terrain. Do you guys, I guess, roll survival and set up camp?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm just going to roll survival, because that's the thing that I do. I can shift.
Yeah.
And that helps me with my survival. So Aderu is going to do that.
Sure.
He's going to drop all of his heavy kit, and he's going to shift, and he's going to just cat around a bit.
Just sniff out a good hidey hole?
Yep. That's going to be 24.
Dirty 20 on my end.
Shit.
I got a 12.
So yeah, you guys skirt some dangerous paths. You find like some shale that would have been bad footing. You avoid some thorny brush, and you eventually find this like cove of thorns that makes a good place to hide. And you guys set up camp. Reyesk.
Yes.
I want to point out real quick. You never felt confused. You weren't leading the way though, but like whatever happened to Aderu, you didn't feel.
Right. I've been of my senses this whole time.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that I'm like, tooting a good one still off the yak.
And
now
Aderu quick saves.
He quick saves?
And that's a joke, but what I mean is he takes 4 sticks. He puts 2 in the ground, then 1 in the middle, then 1 on the far end, making an arrow in the direction of where he came and where he was going, so that when he wakes up in the morning, he maintains his orientation.
Sure.
Quick save.
Sure.
Or rocks, or whatever.
Reyesk, you have had no drugs today. How you doing? And you're out, I believe.
This is the day that I had drugs.
You snorted one when you left Santos, and you snorted one this morning when you had your problem. Wasn't that the last of them?
Yeah. Tomorrow's bad day.
This is the end of the day. Okay.
This is the end of the
last
day.
You sniffed them at the beginning of the day. This is the end of the day. So I guess it's a heads up.
This is the last good day.
No, this is the...
Sure.
Right. But I drink. I drink my booze. And you let me know when it starts running low.
Sure. Point 2. What about you, man? How are you doing? What are you up to?
Point 2 is chilling.
Yeah? Does Point 2 like camping?
Point 2 likes camping. Point 2 likes chopping wood for camping.
I didn't fucking ask Ryan. I'm talking to Point 2, okay?
Oof.
Fuck.
I like camping. I like chopping wood for camping. I like
cool,
doing
man.
my breathing exercises that Brother Eric taught me.
That's cool, man. I like that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's great. So you guys make camp.
We just sit around saying yeah a lot. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Camp.
Yeah.
Who needs camp?
Would you shut up?
So, the sword's clearly magic.
Aye.
Yeah, does it, talk to you?
Aye.
It does.
Just you?
Aye.
Is there something in the sword?
Or someone?
The sword has a spirit inside.
What spirit?
The spirit of the Severian forest. A great stag. A protector that used to watch over my people. My ancestors.
Used to?
Would I know that we're in the Silverian forest?
Yeah, you would know that.
So you have this forest's spirit with you.
What remains of it, yes?
Shouldn't that help you?
You would think so, wouldn't you? It do, but we are, tenuous. There are a bit of discrepancy between the ways we be seeing how the world works.
Don't quite get along, huh?
But it offers to enlighten me.
Okay, it's as long as you have it handled.
Do you trust it?
Why would I not?
I don't know. What if it wanted you to do something you didn't want to do?
It is like an advisor. It carry no control over me.
I don't know, you started walking in a direction you didn't want to go in earlier.
It's true. But here we are.
We don't know that it was the sword's influence.
It was something affecting you, clearly.
As I look down at the arrow you made in the ground.
I fear that there was, yes. But my friend, from day past, in the morning, or in the evening past, he be saying that when he be coming this way, he also be getting disoriented.
Oh,
There's something at play here. And if that be getting him, then it ain't be coming from me sword.
so should we?
And I asked me sword as well, and the sword of course say no, but, you know.
So should we be more on alert?
If we move at night, I can keep us in the correct heading.
As I point up to the stars.
I can't
But
see.
And my eyes just get even bigger because I have dark vision.
The last thing I want to be doing is bumbling around in the woods out here at night and bumping into something doesn't want to be bumped into. I understand what you be saying, but I'm not be having any difficulty navigating at the present. Just want to be sure when I open my eyes next I know which way is which. If that seems to change, then I'll defer to you.
Should we? Should we keep watch tonight?
Of course, we're in the woods.
I'll take first watch.
I'll chop wood.
We should also be making a fire. It's an important thing. Lots of animal, don't care for the fire much.
Wood.
Lots of predator and the like won't approach you as long as the fire be burning. You said you like to chop wood, right?
Yeah.
You go and be getting yourself done.
I'll do that.
Only the dry wood. Do you know the difference between dry and wet wood?
She's gone.
You guys rolled a good survival to begin with, so I'm going to carry that forward. Nothing goes wrong tonight. You picked a good spot. Fire keeps the animals away. The next day, you pick back up where you left off. You don't try to recorrect course, correct? You stick with the new course?
I take the time figuring out how strong my grip is.
Sure.
He's trying to
just
figure out the
crunching lumber over
PSIs,
there.
alright?
That's it, right there. Crunching lumber.
Diagnostic. He's just making kindling out of logs. I had to go down and then left, and I randomly turned left for no reason, so we're going to go left and then down. So we continue going left until we get to the point where we should have gone down, and then we go down.
All right. Well, another day goes by. Give me a survival check.
I'm drinking more booze.
Do that.
Leaning into the
16.
booze.
Nat 20!
So,
Boys.
fuck. Reyesk, one of the
not
things
gonna
that you
get that
notice
20.
is, one, he never tries to turn south again, but he knows where he's going when he heads east. And also, Reyesk, this is your call, but when you wake up in the morning, your pain is not as bad as it has historically been. Do you drink anyway?
Yes, but I think that part of that is that I think to myself, I don't think that my pain is a constant level all the time. Like you say,
Sure.
historically,
You don't believe it that
Right.
it's gone
I don't-
away.
I don't believe
It'll
that it's
flare up
faded.
as soon as I start walking.
Right. So I start drinking, thinking maybe I was drunk enough when I went to sleep
Sure.
because I didn't stop drinking while I was on watch.
That's a good drunk,
So-
man. When you, no, I'm making this in no uncertain terms that ever since the claws have come out, a significant amount of Reyes' pain has been relieved, but Reyes has been on some form of painkiller his whole life, so
Since I was very young.
it's a habit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Stunting
All
is
right,
a
you guys-
habit.
you guys travel on, and this
Put it
day,
in the air.
despite the fact that you guys took a bad path, you guys make excellent time. By the end of this day, you think that you're only like a day and a half
2.
away. What's this?
I rolled a 2
For what?
on the D12.
No, I'm skipping it.
Oh,
Not today. We don't need a random
We
encounter.
rolled too good.
Yeah.
Today's encounter.
Yeah, don't need a random. You bypass that shit with a nat 20. You don't have to worry about it.
Now we're getting to the real encounter.
Yeah,
that shit
the
up
real
on
encounter.
purpose.
You're fairly certain you're maybe a day and a half, 2 days further east, and you'll come back to the section of river that you crossed back when you fought Sukol. So you're guessing that you're in the neck of the woods where it's time to start searching.
Okay. I do that.
Sure. How do you guys go about combing the woods for, what are you looking for?
Investigation?
Sure, I like investigation.
Well, that's a shitty roll.
Aderu
12.
goes back to an old fallback, stands in the middle of the woods, and just says, "Hello!"
Yeah, I rolled 12. I look around and fucking ineffectively find bullshit.
There's one of the many
Trees.
mimic birds just yells back, "Hello!" roll?
I rolled a 22.
For investigation?
No, for perception. I rolled for perception. I got a 19, and I get a +3 proficiency bonus. Otherwise, I would get 0.
Yeah. So I will address. I made a joke about the bird, but one of the things that point 2 notices is the lack of animal noise in this area of the woods.
Is it really quiet over here? Like, abnormally so?
Mitch, what were you rolling?
I rolled an 18, so after my bonus, I get a 17.
To investigation?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But Aderu does have a direction because of what he ran into before. He's going to look for a stone bluff or an outcropping and see if he can find some sort of markings, ritual markings, or circles or things like that.
Want to see if they had set up some sort of trap.
He's
like
thinking
before.
logically there's going to be some sort of trap here as well.
Sure.
Your ritual marking.
Yeah.
Oof.
So 17 is a good roll. It makes you sadly don't find anything, but with that roll, it's the fact that you don't. You find a location where it's like, if I was the druids, I would have done it here, and there's nothing. There's no sign that they set up a trap. You're in the area where it feels like the druids would have been waiting. It doesn't look like anything got set up for a fight. They did, that they did kind of had to change what they were doing because the army split all of the sudden. Because the original plan was to drive them all into the river,
Yeah.
or just let them starve themselves. So the plan originally was not to need to split. So it wouldn't be too strange that they didn't have time to set up a trap. But it's also clear that, there's no sign of any of your people out here. At one point, you travel to, you try to go to this outcrop that's back toward the west, like you see across a little prairie, and you try to get up on this other hill, and you realize that 5 minutes later, you have somehow turned around and walked away from that hill. Once again, you're like, there is an area of land that seems to be confusing and repelling you.
But no dead bodies.
No dead bodies yet. Reyesk rolled us a 12, and his investigation leads him to believe that there's no clues here, and it's going to be very difficult for you to make any... You're not sure where to pick up a trail on this end, because you know which direction they came from, and it doesn't appear that they made it this far. So, your investigation, both of you kind of come up with bupkis, but that tells you that they didn't make it this far. They didn't make it
There
far.
There wasn't a confrontation here.
Yeah, it did. If it happened, it happened
earlier in the
timeline. In their walk. Yeah.
We go. Does that coincide with the direction that was obfuscating?
No. You have moved around that. It seems now that you've come down south. You've been allowed, but when you tried to head west toward that area again, that was when you got turned around.
Okay, well, first things first, Aderu knows some fairy shit, so he turns and faces away from the place he's not supposed to walk to and walks backwards.
Reyesk, you come back to catch Aderu trying this.
What are you doing?
What she said.
There's, something odd about this part of the world. Doesn't want to be tread upon.
As Aderu talks to you and explains it, you watch him take 5 paces back, and then in the middle of what he says, he just starts walking toward you.
Are you supposed to only walk back 5 paces?
Nay, that was the plan. They're supposed to keep walking the other way.
And you realize that all of a sudden Reyesk is in front of you, whereas he should have been getting further away, and somehow you've walked closer to him again.
Aderu gets that look in his eye of the dude who has a plan that's probably a terrible idea. That's one. You want to hold on the end of this rope?
You wish to walk that way?
And I point with one of my claws.
I
pick you up with my new claw arms. Gently.
Who?
Yeah, which one?
Aderu.
Really?
Okay.
He's big. I'm only
5.
Yeah, he's not huge. You're not that strong just because you got claw arms, but go ahead and roll strength.
Yeah, I've got 14 strength.
I guess what your carrying capacity is probably the question.
Can I assist?
No.
16.
Reyesk picks Aderu up by the shoulders, and the Ninelit just stands under Aderu and holds up his feet.
What do? You just pick him up and start walking?
Yes.
Lift with your back.
Thank you.
Reyesk, you walk forward.
Yeah.
And you start heading toward the bluff that Aderu originally looked at, and it doesn't take you long before you reach it.
Yeah, once I get there, I
If he puts me down, do I rubber band?
No.
No, I don't put you down yet. I spin us around and go, look around. And do you want perception or investigation while we look around?
Yeah, give me in a perception works. Whichever one you want.
18.
Also 18.
When you guys get close, Aderu, you do feel like a strange sense of vertigo now that you're like deep into whatever this is.
Not just because I'm upside down over a crab shark.
No, not just that. As you're set down and you feel like every time you focus in a direction, you feel like a sort of confusion. Like you can't, like your brain knows what it's supposed to be doing and yet can't. It's very odd.
It's called executive dysfunction, and how dare you bring my life into this tabletop.
And Reyesk, as you look around,
fucking dare
like you both eventually kind of lock your eyes on like something that can just look at. Reyesk is not having this problem for some reason, but you do notice that in the ground seems to be some sort of trail marker on this hill, and it is covered in what appear to be magic runes. They do not look like they are in the script of the druids, though.
Are they in thieves' camps?
No.
Unfortunate. Are they in infernal?
No.
Unfortunate.
Are they indestructible?
No.
I snapped that shit in half.
The vertigo goes away pretty quickly. There's actually like a snapback of like more vertigo as whatever magic...
Fall the other way.
Yeah, the magic kind of disperses from this location, and you realize that whatever it was some sort of thing that confused direction. And for whatever reason, it seems to be very targeted toward, well, Aderu. There's with no other examples.
I mean, that's presumably the other shifter.
Does it get louder?
Was what?
Can I suddenly hear the animals again?
No.
Oh.
Did this resolve your issue of direction?
It resolved the symptom, but I feel like it's only a highlight to the problem. But I don't be knowing what it is. And I put it in my bag, because that's not a problem. There's no way that's a bad idea. Promise you that can't backfire.
Sure, man.
Absolutely no way that could ever backfire.
Zero way that could not work out well.
You give it to 9 later and turn it into the dysfunction stick. Make a club out of
I'm
it.
over 30, I have one of those.
Crack somebody in the head and watch them get lost.
It's just a stick.
It's called the fuck off stick. You hit them with it and they
It's
walk
called
away. So yeah.
You hit them with it and they walk away.
Gas-powered stick.
I don't know, man. We're looking for dead bodies and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I rolled 18
we resume doing
perception.
that.
Once again, you're certain dead bodies are further east, but whatever was keeping you out is further west. What do you do?
Oh, okay.
Keep going west, but I don't know that. I guess he's the only one that knows that. I go,
which direction were they trying to keep us from going?
I'm not sure if we be having one or two issues here. But this one, and he points at the stick. This one be blocking us from going that way. But but I'm thinking we be finding what happened with the elders if we be going the other way.
You know my motives out here.
Can't say either aligns with your motive, though. Unless your blue people use these sticks.
I don't know, but for now, we are working on your motives. So which do you think services your motives best?
Let us be quick about finding where things transpired. We can always come back to whatever this is. Sooner we resolve my errand, sooner we can find your people and get some good rest.
Then let's move.
Do you guys push yourselves to find it tonight, or do you try to make camp and check in the morning?
Listen, I have no concerns about pushing myself, and I have a 40-foot walking speed now, so I'm doing fine and dandy.
Aderu is gonna... Aderu is gonna split the difference. He's gonna short rest. He doesn't want to get there completely unprepared because we don't know what's going to be there when we find it. But we can all see in the dark, so he's not worried about not being able to see what's going on.
So yeah, you guys take a little breather.
It's just to help stave off real exhaustion.
Sure.
Because we have been walking all day.
Yeah, sounds good. After you take a little breather on this hill, you guys set back off into the denser woods where there are no sounds of animal. As you guys get deeper and deeper, it takes another 4 hours of walking in the dark, which for you guys isn't that bad. As the sun finally goes down, your night vision all kicks in. Correct? Every one of you? Yeah. Every one of you has dark vision, and it's no different. You haven't had a strenuous journey. You didn't run into too many problems other than Reyesk's Pokemon mishap. you guys...
What an odd way to phrase that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he evolved, I guess.
Yeah, he evolved.
He digivolved to...
He's Reyeskmon.
Ikakuma!
Yeah, so you guys have already been killing your survival checks. I think it was only a matter of time. And now that you're getting closer and you're aware of it, there comes a part where you guys are walking, and once again, Aderu just turns off the path for a moment.
I just grab him. The moment he turns, I go...
You just boom. Just slap him upside the head and turn him.
Yeah, I just grab him with one of the 4 arms I have, and just wait. Because, like, now we're really pushing for it, and I'm not going to
Is there anything perceivably occurring
stop him.
on my end?
No,
Do I have anything to work with at all, or am I just randomly stupid?
it seems to be a carefully targeted runic spell, and yeah, it's the DM is using a story point. Essentially, there is no spell that does this. Congratulations, you all have story points if you haven't used them. And yeah, and it is targeted apparently to shifters, where your ability to figure out which to go into these locations, your sense of direction gets just sort of magically shunted. As you push,
So he's forced me over the line effectively.
yeah. You guys,
What happens after that?
if he pushes you forward, you eventually see another one of these stakes in the ground that you can break, just like last time.
I just pick it up.
You don't even know where you're going when you pick it up.
Yeah, I don't break this one. I just pick it up.
Everybody roll perception.
Advantage on perception roll.
Hey.
23.
18.
18 plus 3, 21.
As that vertigo leaves, and before Aderu can see it, but everybody else sees it as well, you realize that you have found the battle. As you stop and you peer around, you realize that there are what look to be the chewed-on corpses of men. The rot has set in. Animals have taken bits. It's what happens when you leave meat lying around in the woods.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell who's who, because even though it's only been a week, the forest has grown over it a little bit. The grass is taller. The fertilizer has been effective. But as you look through the tall grass, you see the men, the downed people. There's, I think it was 80 soldiers I described.
Aderu's first check is basically look for metal, because we know that the army was wearing armor, right? Weren't they? They were.
Yeah, they're in a chain shirt, I think is the standard.
Yeah, they had metal, and the automata had metal, and so he's doing a hard point check. Look for wagons, look for metals, look for things like that, because the druids aren't going to have any of that shit.
You find all of it. You find everything that they had gone west with. And go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
This place stinks.
Just kidding.
13.
I know it smelled like death.
You see a couple of spots where it looks like there's what looks like frostburn attacked some of the plants. You see spots where fire scorched sections of the ground. It definitely looked like some druids brought forth their powers here, would be your guess. There are men that are covered in all sorts of elemental damage. There are men who are wrapped up in vines and yanked into the ground. But what's strange is when you finally find a figure clad in furs, who also seems to be covered in some sort of frost burn damage. He looks like his skin is weathered and cracked, like he suffered tremendous frostbite from some attack. And his face has been torn open by what appears to be very wicked claws, all the way down the side of his face, neck, and chest, ripping his clothing right off of him. And as you realize that you are looking into the cold, dead eyes of Dulf, who you knew was Dorf, who was a Dwarven druid.
Is this what we were looking for?
Aye, that's the one. But I be looking for one more body. This one here. This one is Dwarf. One of the elders control water, rains and floods and rivers and banks. But I be looking for Zwood. I don't know where that one is.
What do they look like?
I cannot say. We rarely, if ever, see the face of the elders. I know him more by his things here. His cloaks, his bits, his pieces. And I loot him, like any reasonable individual would.
behind a copse of trees, you hear...
Oh god, no.
Intruders, declare your allegiance.
I am a mercenary of Canoria, working under Commander Vivaldi. Yes, a lore.
Do you guys go and look for it? Because it's just a voice behind some trees at this point.
Halor changes.
He changes his clothes.
He throws his robes back on.
Reyesk, I think, is going to stealth around to get a better look at it. So let's roll some stealth.
Sure.
Fucking garbage.
Uh-oh.
Love that for me. 11.
Nice. Reyesk, you come around the corner trying to, maybe you climb a tree. I think that's kind of your deal in the woods, right? Trying to get up high because people don't look there.
Get high, look down.
And when you come around, you see the top half of 75. His chest cavity is torn open. Most of his lights aren't working, and he only has one arm, and from it, he is pointing at you, because he apparently has caught you. You shook a branch, and he raises his gun lance and starts clicking it. And it just sort of makes a fucked up grinding sound as you realize, looking at it, that the entire front end blew up in his hand.
Ha ha. Got him.
Reyesk, you also notice that next to him, which in a position that doesn't look like they were fighting, is a rail-thin wildling character, dressed similarly to the other druid that Aderu pointed out. The two of them almost look like they were back to back.
I think I found your missing friend.
I drop down from the tree, and I just yank the gun lance out of his hand.
Click, click. As you yank it out of his hand, he just sort of deflates, and most of the lights go out again, and it just sort of, collapses.
Unit 75, report.
I don't. Report.
Is there anyone else here for you to report to?
Commander Roca is dead.
As highest remaining member of military, here, report.
Roll persuasion.
17.
Arrived here with General Roca. Came under attack from ruins. Did fight many soldiers died.
I'm gonna walk inside of his chest there and just roll int.
Okay, yeah, put him to work.
That's a nat 20. I'm gonna get a couple of... I'm gonna grab a couple of wires and reconnect a couple of them, and you no longer stutter.
Commander Roca came under fire from druids. Druids were fought. They fought us to a standstill, and it was at that point when something happened and my vision sensors were destroyed. I heard more screams. I came back to back with this gentleman.
Sort of pats the guy next to him.
The shifter?
Yeah, the druid.
Oh, the druid, okay.
And we continued to fight a new enemy. My gun lance backfired. I could no longer feel my extremities. It had claws, and it was so cold. I shouldn't be able to feel cold.
Are you malfunctioning with your sensory senses?
I don't know. I do not wish to die here. Or I do not wish to be... No, I do not wish to be alone. Don't leave me here.
You are a bit large to transport.
Do not worry. We will get you back.
It is at this point that I'm just gonna rip those cords out.
You just finish him off?
Yeah. I'm gonna blast his cache, don't worry.
Don't forget to blast my cash.
And that's your episode.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the episode. Hey, Tavern Goers. Thanks again for listening to Torchlit Tavern. Today's tale featured Mitchell Travis as Aderu, Jeffrey Lisk as Reyesk, Ryan Santos as Number 9, and Jameson Oxford as the Dungeon Master. You can follow us and interact with us on Twitter at Torchlit Tavern, or email us with any of your most pressing questions at torchlittavern@gmail.com. You can also find our entertainers on the streets of twitch.tv/torchlittavern, yelling obscenities at passersby. If you enjoyed our tale, you can tip your storytellers as you leave the tavern, which you can do via patreon.com/torchlit tavern. Every little bit helps, and those who tip well and often can find themselves privy to an extra story or two, jokes, or maybe even a bit of hidden lore. Our story continues to grow all the time, and though we have no designs on a vast empire, your help is always appreciated.
Our theme music for this campaign was designed by the bard, Brett Eagleston. Get his music at bretteagleston.bandcamp.com or find links for all his projects by following Bread Eagles on Twitter. This episode was edited and produced by Jameson Oxford and Ryan Santos. Other music and sound effects are provided by Epidemic Sound with help from freesound.org.
And if you should find yourself surrounded by eager ears and attentive listeners, remember to tell good stories.